Hi there, this is Ella Starr talking about your key races and bets for Saturday, April 17th, brought to you by Amwager.com, a great legal online betting site covering most tracks in North America and available to residents of most states. Check it out at Amwager.com. You can also get the written version of this, the Key Races and Bets blog, by going to Amwager.com, clicking on How to Bet and Ella Starr's blog. We got three races to cover today. We're going to start with the 8th at Keeneland on Saturday the 17th with a 457 post. And I think the contenders are Final Jeopardy and Empty Tomb. I think the favorite South Bend is pretty false here, and I think that makes the two horses pretty playable with Final Jeopardy opening at 8-1, Empty Tomb at 5-1. South Bend's coming 6 months off. I think this is just his first start back on the trail. He was in stakes most of last year and a half, and I just don't think he's going to be intended or ready to run well enough to win here. I'm sure he could, but he doesn't have a class edge. On the other hand, Final Jeopardy has won two of his last three dirt starts. Most recent January, drew off nicely. He ran a race to Oaklawn last month that was stakes quality. He's overmatched, so it's kind of a drop in class. Both of his recent wins came off really bad efforts, so that's not a problem. And I think his recent workout says he's ready to go. Empty Tomb also overmatched in his most recent race, which was the Kentucky Cup Classic at Turfway Park. Prior to that, he was second in two straight. His Equibase speed figure 106 stacks up well with Final Jeopardy's 107, and meet leading jockey Luis Saez gets on. I'll bet Final Jeopardy and Empty Tomb to win at 2-1 here in the 8th at Keeneland with a 457 post. Because of the bad favorite, you can make two bets, and when you do, try and use a Dutching tool, which helps you allocate the money among two horses mathematically based on their odds. You can put in how much you want to bet or how much you want to win, and the math is done for you to give you an edge. Amwager.com has a free Dutching tool, which works out very well. Also, I like an exacta here of Final Jeopardy and Empty Tomb over those two plus Royal Mesa, who's been second in his last two. And we'll play some doubles. Final Jeopardy and Empty Tomb in race 8. Say the word Monarch's Glen, Tide of the Sea, and Red Knight in race 9. Moving on to another race on the day, the Woodhaven Stakes, race 8 at Aqueduct with a post of 519. Last week we got lucky with a short field. Chad Brown had two horses. One of them paid $22, and we hit the $59 exacta when the top two picks ran 1-2. I hope we can do it again. But this time there's really only one play, and that's Sifting Sands. He opens at 5-1, and he's trained by Chad Brown. He's likely to prove second off the layoff. The favorite in this race, Hard Love, is okay, but he's 4-5. He just ran second from start to finish in the stakes. That's why he's such low odds, but I think he can be beaten here. I like Shifting Sands at 2-1 or more in the Woodhaven Stakes at the 519 post. And I'm going to play Shifting Sands in the exacta over Hard Love and Shoddy, who rallied from 9th to 2nd in his most recent start. Moving on to the 10th at Keeneland, and you can play this in a pick 3 by adding these contenders, Lupaloo and Finnegan, in the doubles that I gave out earlier. In the 10th at Keeneland with the 603 post, it's a starter allowance race, which means horses that have run for a certain claiming price, and I think it's a pretty playable race. It's a 12-horse field. The two contenders I like, Lupaloo and Finnegan, open at 7-2 and 3-1, so they're not big prices, but with a big field, the odds may hold up, and that's okay. Lupaloo's been first or second in 10 of 16 career races. Better still, 8 of 12 at this basic 6-furlong trip. He just won an identical starter allowance race at the Fairgrounds in New Orleans after two poor efforts. And returning from a layoff last August, he ran 4 A races in a row, first or second. So now he's back in form. I think Lupaloo will likely be holding his top form run really well. Finnegan's another contender here, also with a consistent record. 8 first or second finishes in 14 races. He enters the race off a win. He should run well. That win came off 10 months off, so it's second off a layoff. Better still, that was his first ever 5,000 claimer. He'd been facing only tougher, and he would not have qualified for this starter allowance race where horses have to have run for a $5,000 claiming price if he had not run in that race. So that's a smart move by his trainer, Wesley Ward, who gets Joel Rosario to ride, and we can expect another big effort. In this race, I'd bet Lupaloo or Finnegan at 2-1 or more, whichever one is higher odds. And then I like the trifecta here because I think there's some value. So we'll play Lupaloo and Finnegan in first and in second. And then in third, we'll add Nice Work, High Five Cotton, Kate's Golden Dude, and Can't Say No. So basically it's 2x2x4. It's a very inexpensive ticket. I'll play it for $1 or $2. Lupaloo and Finnegan in first and second. Nice Work, High Five, Cotton, Kate's Golden Dude, and Can't Say No in third. Don't forget you can check out the written version of this Key Races and Bets video, the Key Races and Bets blog at amwager.com. While you're there, look around. Check out amwager.com, amwager.com. It's a great legal online betting site. You'll have lots of tools and perks. And good luck. We'll talk to you next week.